What's up?
Or evening or afternoon or night.
Good morning. You forget we in the past. It's nighttime.
Welcome to the future.
What's going on, guys?
Not too much. Hey, Alex. Now, my friend Alex has just jumped in. He's the co-founder of Good Girls as well.
Sweet. What's going on, Alex? Think Tonya's still getting her mic and stuff situated.
Sorry, I was talking and didn't realize I was muted. I am bloody good, mate. How are you?
Oh man, I'm good, man.
Thanks for accommodating the time zone for us. It's very much appreciated.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. I have some friends down under, so I'm definitely familiar.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, the time zones for being in the NFT space, being Australian, is super tricky. We're always up early or up super late, but it's all part of the game, right? It's all part of it. It's good fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and I think it's on Social Chat's Twitter page too. So we're live on Twitter. But hi, how you doing? I'm looking forward to getting to know more about your project.
Morning, Tonya. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I have
Great
a
to meet you.
co-host on the show with. She's from Australia. And it's actually one of my country that I have on my bucket list because I've worked with a lot of researchers from Australia, because that's where like a lot of diagnostic testing labs come out, like really good ones come out of Australia actually for longevity.
Yeah, so do you do aging research or something like that?
I do communication for aging researcher.
Oh, dope. That's awesome. I would love to talk to you more about that.
Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, because I've been working on trying to get them into longevity. I did a couple shows, meaning like spaces promoting an artist who was donating his proceeds of his NFT to a longevity researcher. So it was really interesting. I learned a lot through him. So I just been looking for all the different people to collaborate with, just to like believe in the same process as far as aging, but we don't need to. We can like focus on longevity and figure out why people age. So, but that can be another space, and hopefully maybe you guys could do a movie about it or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That'd be really cool. I'll jump in some other time when you're talking about that. I've been looking into that separately. So
All right. So what's going on, Tonya?
Oh, nothing. I have been trying to take care of in real life stuff and stuff. So it was kind of good that we're doing it later at night and evening, because for me, my Wednesdays is a little bit crazier than today. Was nice actually because I didn't have to like run around. Usually I stream on Wednesday, but it was nice just to do the show tonight at 8 p.m. It's nice actually. So 8 p.m. now, my our time, so it's 8 a.m. for you guys then, right? That's perfect.
It's 10 a.m. So yeah, it's even more
10 a.m.
perfect.
get a nice little sleep in today.
Well, no, that's better. At 10 a.m. I think that's when everyone should go to work.
Yeah, I reckon. That'd be nice. The old 10 a.m. start. The film industry kind of got it, unless we're shooting, of course, it usually has a 10 a.m. sort of general start for production. As you know, shoots are usually start at ungodly times in the morning, like 4 a.m. But yeah, so we're used to being up at all sorts of times. So nice and prepped and ready for the NFT space and getting up and doing spaces at 3 in the morning. It's good fun.
Yesterday we had a nice little space with hidden ones. We call it our little supernatural space. We're going to be doing it every Tuesday, and I got the pleasure of chatting a little bit with you yesterday. It was a pretty dope conversation.
That was so much fun. I enjoyed that so much. You know what? We were talking about synchronicities, and that night I ended up talking with like a researcher I collaborate with, and we started looking, like he brought up that he wanted to start looking at psi research and quantifying that from like a cognitive science perspective. So it's really funny. It came up
Wow.
multiple times. Yeah, we started talking about the exact same projects that we were talking about in the morning.
That's how it happens, man. That's how you know when you're aligned with your destiny. You're on the right path.
That's it. That's it. It's great to be here.
Yes, yes. All right. So let's get started. Good girls who want to be bad. Explain a little bit about y'all's project, but first start off, how'd you guys get into film and what inspired you guys?
Alex, I reckon you take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a producer and a DOP, and I run a film production company down here in Australia with my partner Nat, who is the director and creative director of Good Girls as well. And that company's called Method to My Madness, and we are a film production company which we primarily do music industry based film projects like music videos, documentaries, and that sort of thing. We're going into like doing some narrative based stuff and some scripted stuff. We've been working on this concept behind this film, Good Girls Who Want to Be Bad, for quite some time now. But yeah, where we're at as a company is, you know, we've obviously been a Web2 company for quite some time. I think we're going on 7 years, and as MTMM, and basically, yeah, having been involved in the NFT space for, you know, a year or so now myself, basically we feel like the next logical step for our business is to make the jump to Web3 or Film 3 as we call it now. So yeah, this project, Good Girls Who Want to Be Bad, is the first project from our film production company that will be taking us into the Film 3 space. And yeah, that's basically a bit of a backstory of where we've come from. But the film itself, Good Girls Who Want to Be Bad, is a short film. It's also, the NFT project itself is a generative photography and collage-based NFT project, which is a collaboration between Nat's photography and our artist Mad Butt, her collage work. So basically, as you can see in our PFP, all of the models are depicted by Australian musicians. But we've got 6 different models, and then all of the attributes are like collage-based photography traits. And yeah, it's generated in much the same way as a generative would be created, but it's all using photography and collage stuff. So without going too much further, that's a bit of a backstory on us.
Awesome. I started out in music as well. Musician, kind of gave it up a couple of years ago and started focusing more on film. But Starstate Film and Music, what we're trying to do is basically create a platform to promote films and Web3 films, NFT film projects, as well as linking film projects and Film 3 projects up with, you know, artists, you know, maybe for a soundtrack or, you know, who knows, just like a friendly little platform where artists can meet and come up with an organic projects and, you know, create just organically through our platform. So that's what we're trying to do. But it's, you know, I saw you guys. I forgot who told me about you guys, or did you guys hit me up? But I looked at your page and I was like, wow, this is super interesting. We got to get these guys on the show.
Yeah, thanks heaps. Glad to be here, and super excited to be sort of going down the Film 3 path. I mean, I think it's the future of independent filmmaking for sure. And yeah, what you guys are doing is awesome, because I think that's like one big sort of hurdle with Film 3 at the moment is like a distribution model. And that's something I think as us as a whole community we're going to obviously all have to come together and figure out what that distribution model looks like and how it's going to work. But yeah, so what you guys are doing is definitely a big step in that direction. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh man, I definitely appreciate it. So I'm super bullish on Web3 and AR and VR technology, XR as well. You know, things that I've been researching and looking up. I feel as though, you know, our whole way of life will be changing here within the next 5 to 10 years. Where, you know, movies will be VR, video games VR, our everyday experience. Like say when you go to a shopping market or even downtown, you be able to put your glasses that are AR compatible on, and you could just see all the different advertising and AR stuff as soon as you put your glass. I think it's just going to be a whole new world, and I'm super, you know, excited about it. I can't wait. And you know, back in the Web 2 days, there was so much stuff I wanted to do, but it's just like I was handcuffed. But with, you know, Web 3, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do, you can absolutely pull it off.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm 100% on board with you there, and I think that the model that you got and you're developing of this like collaboration space in between, you know, artists and films and musicians, and you know, it can be expanded out in this Web3 space to include VR developers and people who are working in AR, and you know, these models that we have of what a film can be or what a song can be. You know, they they can combine more in this space than they ever have before. It's so exciting.
Oh yes, absolutely. Um, Tonya, she has a lot of experience in the VR and XR field as well. So, you know, she's bringing a lot to the table with that. So we're just wanting to be pioneers, man. Well, we are all of us. We're all pioneers, you know. If you've gotten in this space early, and basically, like how we say over here in America, put your law down. You're you're a pioneer, man, because it's so early into, you know, this space and what's going on. We're all pioneers. So I like to tell everybody that look at it as you know, being a pioneer and you get out here and create something amazing. You don't get this, you know, these chances every day. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But
And
it's
like,
like every different platform that we are utilizing now, no matter Web 2, Web 3, really is just the experience that we provide the um, people who are invest into our token, or even people who want to know more about what your project's about. Because I feel like people are looking for the experience. The day of people just collecting, getting stuff, they call it gratis swag. Swag is awesome if there's an experience that goes to the swag bag. I feel that's my followers and my clients, but that's how when I talk to them, I hear a lot of people like they don't want to have more, like how many more like little sign, that little piece of paper that says you're this or that. But people want to feel an experience where they have maybe something virtual or VR or an AR that they have to game for or experience what it. So that's one thing I love about Film 3, you know, like for Web 3, because when you look at it, if you tokenize something and make an NFT on each parts of it, and the more we talk to a lot of filmmakers, especially NFT filmmakers who are like developing their own tokens, and there's so many parts behind it. And myself personally, being part of a crowdfunding, being there in the early days of watching film being crowdfunded, you know, and you know, just understanding how things have gone and seeing where it is today, it's exciting time. So tell me a little bit more about yourself in a sense, and also your project. Tell me more, because I like explain to me more about what your movie, your NFT project is about. And also, what's Pink Social Club, Pink Flamingo Social Club? It just calls me because I'm from South Florida, and we're like, Pink Flamingo is our thing down here. I need to know more about the Pink Flamingo, but I know we're here about the Good Girls NFT, but I also would love to know more about the Pink Flamingo.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pink Flamingo Social Club is my other project, and that's our first NFT project that we have put out. And yeah, it's a multi-chain project. So we've launched on Phantom, Avalanche, Polygon. We've sold out on those 3 chains. We're about to launch on Ethereum coming up in the next month or two. And the whole sort of purpose behind the Mingos, as we call them, is it's really a community-driven project. So a lot of the decisions within it are sort of made by the community, and we're really exploring what a multi-chain NFT community is. And that's like a very interesting kind of area, because NFT bridging has become a thing that is only very recently possible. And what you can do with cross-chain community building, and also like what your NFTs can actually do once you open up multi-chain potential, is what that project is exploring. So if there's like gaming on Avalanche that is really, really strong, and there's a whole bunch being built there in that realm, then you're able to bridge your Flamingo over to Avalanche, and we'll, with a partner project, be able to do something cool there. Or if there's some DeFi use that is available on Phantom, you can bridge over there and be involved in that. So the Pink Flamingo Social Club is really a project that partners with a whole bunch of other projects to offer our community different experiences. But what that project has done is it's obviously been our big introduction into Web3 and into NFTs, and all the stuff we've learned along the way, and all the great people we've met along the way has really helped us shape Good Girls project to we've basically taken everything we've learned from that and put it into this project as well. They're obviously very different projects, because the idea behind Good Girls That Want to Be Bad is to create a Web3 film production company. Ultimately, that's the big picture. This Good Girls film being our first film, which we're going to finance through the generative series and produce, and the development and production of the short film will happen in real time with our community. So whilst we've we've got the concept, and we've obviously developed it quite a bit up until now. Once we launch our Discord, which will be launched in the next week, we'll start sort of sharing a lot more of the creative details of the film, and invite the community to sort of be a part of that process with us. So throughout that whole period, the film will sort of get developed, and then we'll mint, and then the film will go into production. After the film is produced, it'll obviously be released and premiered. And basically from then, the idea with short films for us is to obviously have them lead into either a series or a feature in the future. So we're going to use this to basically build our community, build our fans, build our story, and basically prep this film to, therefore, the second generation of this would obviously be turning it into something, whether that's a series or a feature, that is still sort of open, but that's the bigger picture. And then obviously from this creative team, we're going to be developing and releasing other films within the Film 3 space. And we really see it as a great opportunity to finance a film in a way that our holders can have ownership as well, but also build a community around our production company for future films to come. And basically set our roots in the Film 3 industry properly.
I'd just add on to that and say we've also got an emphasis on providing grants for other filmmakers coming in, so onboarding more filmmakers into the space, giving them that platform that we have already built or will have already built to launch from there. So I think we need more creative people constantly coming into this space, can be a bit of a barrier for entry. And if we can provide, you know, a platform, I think that will be really helpful both for the space and for the filmmakers and creativity as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. The grant program is definitely a big part because, you know, as indie filmmakers ourselves, we understand how hard it can be to get the first money to do anything. It's like getting the first money to develop a concept is usually the hardest money you'll ever raise. So yeah, our grant program really is going to be to sort of get creative teams, directors, writers, musicians as well, an opportunity to sort of get a concept into development, or if it's like a short form, fully produce it as well. So we see that as like a really big way to on-ramp new people, but also, you know, build creative teams within the existing space. Because, you know, I could harp on about this forever, but like there are so many creative brains in the Web3 space. And, you know, in every Discord of every project I'm in, there's always someone who's like, I'm a cinematographer, or I'm a director, or I'm a producer, and I'm just getting into this. And so we see within these communities, it's going to be really fun as Film 3 starts to develop and become a really legitimate thing. It's going to be great to see what happens with that once we're able to basically help some of these creative teams get their ideas off the ground. And hopefully by then, you know, the distribution model and the funding model will be kind of ironed out a little bit more, and lots of great films will start coming out.
It's awesome.
What are you guys' thoughts about, like, I just have been following a lot of different, like, just not even film, more like, I guess you can call them short feature, but they do like 30 minutes, but then you watch like 10 episodes or 20 episodes, but they're 30 minutes long, but it seems, but they're like 6 hours if you sit and watch them all, because you binge watch them. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I feel like that's like a thing nowadays, because they get you addicted on it. I don't know about you guys, I am. I'm just, you know, just saying. Because this is what I
And
do when I think about watching films. Like, you just binge watch, and like, I noticed they're feeding us like 30 minutes time slot now.
Netflix made that model
Yeah,
pretty
that's what I'm talking
popular.
about. Like, but then now because of Netflix, I start watching other platform, you know, like I go on and I'm paying for all these streaming service, but I notice I always go back and watch things that are like 30 minutes, 40-minute segment, but then I end up watching it for like hours, sometimes days, all weekend long, maybe, if you leave me alone long enough. But yeah, what do you think about that? I think it's just it's interesting. Then also have a story behind the story, right? I don't know. I think that's what the NFT comes about. Like, if you have a story behind the story and why people would want to collect it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that model, we've been seeing that happen since, you know, series started getting a whole lot better, essentially. And I think that happened because people were funding it, and then there's an appetite for long form drama now, and long form, you know, also all genres. But like, you can do so much more with a character if you've got like 6 or 8 hours to develop the characters and really go into the backstories and tell a much bigger story than you can in a feature. And I think, I don't know, it's just a completely different sort of approach of storytelling. I think there's still something extremely special about being able to write a feature film that is incredible and you can tell the whole story in an hour and a half. I think that's actually really hard. It's even more impressive when someone can do that with a short film, and get the story across. But obviously, like, the best case scenario for like more complex stories is to be able to have more screen time. So if you can really embellish and tell your story over a sort of a long form, like a mini series or a sort of a longer form series, I think that's great. But it all comes down to funding as well. Like, there's got to be an audience that's willing to pay for it. The money's got to come from somewhere, and Netflix has obviously figured that model out. But it would be great to see that start to happen in Film 3, to where there's like the distribution model can support funding some more high production, like, you know, high budget, high production series, because then I think we'll really start to see people onboarding heavily, especially producers and directors and stuff.
I see in a couple years, the technology getting a little bit better. And the movies that we're able to upload and turn into NFTs, the duration will be, longer. The cap space will be bigger. Because right now, I think it's 15 minutes, almost, I think around 15 minutes for video on NFT. So once that starts to increase, that whole episodic type of uh, idea that Netflix made popular, that's just gonna flow over into the NFT space. You know what I'm saying? So shouldn't be long.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of brings us on to that convo, like back on like what is the distribution model, because while an NFT film may be capped at 15 minutes, it's more like, is the model of film 3 actually NFTs, or is it using NFTs to fund a film that could potentially live on in the film 3 space, but also live in traditional distribution models as well, but the ownership and the rights of the film are owned through the NFT holders. So you're more just tokenizing the idea and funding it that way. It'll be interesting to see like what really bites there, because until there's a Netflix in the film 3 space, like obviously the viewers are still going to be using Netflix, Amazon, all of that to consume. So it's whether, it'll be interesting to see. I think the first few years might be sort of a hybrid between the two, using film 3 to finance and build your community, and using NFTs and tokenomics to basically manage your ownership and your rights. But then your distribution, it'll be interesting to see where that sits, especially once you start to get bigger films that have big actors and high demand. It's gonna fucking flip it on its head. Like the industry's not gonna like it at first, which is like why it's so awesome and so disruptive. Because it's gonna change the way that every fucking film contract, every single contract is gonna have to be rewritten. Like distribution models are gonna have to be completely rethought.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like the biggest barrier at the moment.
Now too, though. I mean, if you look at Wonder Woman, no, I'm not. Yeah, was it Wonder Woman that? No, it was Scarlett Johansson movie. I think that's the one that she sued the studio because they released it on a live stream and not what instead of in the theaters, but because of what's happening with the pandemic, you see that she actually sued for it, and but now she's not really working that much because of that, I think. But but that's changed quite a bit too now too, and now I mean Web3 is gonna really, like you say, turn everything upside down. But I feel like right now people are like I'm seeing that happening, like because there's so like live streaming, people can buy keys, people can be part of something. I mean, like virtual reality, augmented reality, XR. I mean, like there's so much to do with it that filmmakers can create, and also how people can consume, meaning how can they find the film anyway? How would you want your film to be? What kind of feeling do you want people to feel when they're watching your film? Again, like not all channels or even the blockchains are created different, right? Not equally as they call it. But you can, as filmmakers, the sky's the limit. I mean, I remember my friends who were filmmakers, they didn't have social media. They didn't have anything. They had to beg and plead to get funding for whatever. They didn't have crowdfunding. So it's an interesting time we live in. Don't you agree?
100% agree. It's really interesting, and because it really brings filmmakers into the social media space, but it brings that whole, I think what really powerful part about that is most films don't have a pre-existing community before they come out. Like they sort of bank on, the traditional model is banked on like all your actor attachments and then your marketing of the film, which happens, in traditional ways. But what's really powerful now is like being able to bring in your film, your fans through crowdfunding, which is more than crowdfunding. It's more like crowd equity share, because if they're buying in on the NFTs, they're actually owning a part of it and forever. But then those people are like in from the start and they see the whole development of it, and then before the film even comes out, before they've even seen anything, you've got like a whole audience that is ready to have this film dropped on them. And I think that the power of that is maybe a little unrealized with film 2 producers and stuff. I think the marketing model will sort of change, because you'll have like, obviously you're going to have to market in any film in the same way that you always will. I think that's, marketing plans are just have to accommodate more elements these days. But the power of the community is insane. Like, you only have to see like any of these sort of big NFT projects and like what their communities have done when they come together to imagine if that was your pre-existing film audience that you're about to drop a film on at the end of this whole project, then they're going to feel so much more attached to it. And then you've got this whole community then that become your ultimate marketing team for the film, to promote it to all audiences, not just the Web3 audience. So that's what really excites me, I think, the most about it is that community building side, the fan, like building your viewership.
And we've been talking a lot about Netflix, but we have like a little partnership with Beem, and I think Beem is the future of film streaming. They're working with a lot of NFT projects, and with the screenings and meetups and stuff like that. You can watch a movie with up to 1 million people in the same live stream, with like communication and like a communication text box. Or you could bring people up to the stage where it's kind of like Zoom, but you're watching a movie. They really did their thing with this app, and I'm glad to be a part of it. But have you guys had a chance to check it out? Usually we broadcast simultaneously on Beam, but I have an abscess, so unfortunately I'm not able to live stream today. I forgot to tell you guys about that. But I would love, once you guys get the film up and running, would love to have a screening on Beam for you guys.
That'd be awesome, man. Go ahead.
I love the idea that people can chat with each other while they're watching the movie as well. You have that one person who always asks questions, what's going on now? But it's just in text, so you don't have to get distracted.
She Crypto below, she had her screening premiere on Beam, and it was awesome, man. So I think Beam's the future. We're talking about Netflix, but it's really all about Beam. You know what I'm saying? I think they really put the law down in this Web3 space when it comes to the film streaming, and yeah, they're pretty dope.
Yeah, sweet. Well, definitely would love to chat with them and tee that up. Sounds great.
So I really love the name Good Girls Who Want to Be Bad. I feel like I need a t-shirt like that because I collect t-shirts. So tell me, how'd you guys come up with the name? That's hot.
It is hot. Our film director, Nat, came up with that name, and I think it's been on her mind for a long time. Nat, did you want to, if you've got a sec, come up and explain where the name came from? I can try and take it if you don't, and I'm not sure if she's in the middle of something at the moment.
Here, let me invite her to speak.
Yeah, I invited her too.
I know she might be in the middle of something at the moment, but I know the film is essentially touching on these themes of like women breaking social expectations in particular. But this question of like what is good and what is bad, and how much of that is a matter of perspective, can it actually be defined once you take away that subjective element on how much, what perspective you're coming from, how much information you have, and how that changes your perspective on what's good, what's bad. I know she has more of an in-depth story about that, but I'd have to.
I mean, I can like kind of mention it. I mean, I've talked about this all the time on my talk show. So I mean, like females orgasm, like I feel like what's good and what's bad, right? But nowadays, when you talk about what a woman's orgasm is a good, incredible, it's a good thing to talk about. But then at one time, talking about stuff like that gets considered bad too, because and then I feel like there's such taboo on things at one time, like it may be in a parent's life. You never thought you'd see something like that on TV. And here we are today. So again, I love the title, Good Girls Who Want to Be Bad. But and again, it's perspective. Just like calling someone psycho, I'm not calling someone crazy could be a matter of opinion, because it's all in perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like as the times change and as your mind changes, what is good and what is bad changes. If someone does something that you consider to be bad, and then you kind of get an insight into their backstory, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, wait, they're actually doing the right thing. And I love those films that play with that. They mess with your perspective and make you question the assumptions that you have about the world and about women in particular. I love the example of the female orgasm. Like that's a fantastic example of it. It was so taboo. Not even 30 years ago to have that kind of thing portrayed in a film, and then now it's celebrated. It's just wild how these things change, and I think
Around
we get
orgasm. It's like this festivals for it nowadays. I mean, like it's the kind of, and there's actually clinical studies that going around trying to figure out why women don't orgasm, stuff like that. And it's interesting time where we're living where people feel like, hey, it's okay to be that way. I mean, I feel that way because I've gone through my menopause, or because I just have that attitude, like, well, what people perceive, what I perceive in the past was considered taboo. Today, it's like, whatever, there's everyone's accepted. Everybody's all like, we're just living in a great time, and it's all on how you take it. So. I just find your name so cool, and I just want I actually want a T-shirt. Can I get a T-shirt?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
I'll be your social media advocate. I love T-shirts, especially that. That's so badass. So, I'm actually the president of Women Communication, so we love badass shit like that. I mean, my national chapter has been around since 1909. I'm only the South Florida president, so I totally can like rock that flamingo shirt for you because I know all about NFT and the merchandising behind them, which we haven't really talked about. Have you guys talked about your merchandising, about your projects? I mean, like you do have beautiful art.
Yeah, absolutely. Nat has some fantastic ideas for merchandising that are different to like the typical hoodies and t-shirts and things like that. Not to say that we won't do those, but we're looking at getting a little bit more creative with different styles of clothing and things that are more on brand for the Good Girls um, image. So looking at like the kinds of things that we have in our image right now, we've been talking about biker jackets and things that are just a little bit more badass than a t-shirt or a hoodie. I'm really excited to see. We haven't got it clarified exactly at this point, but yeah, there's some really
The
fun
hats.
ideas being thrown around. The hats, the akubas.
Cowboy hats.
The
Cowboy
hat.
hats. That'd be sick. It's a badass like country western hat collection going on. I think that's on the cards.
Yeah, you'll be first on our mind once we start doing some merch, Tonya.
I'm all about gratis and merch. That's what I care about. That's what I tell people actually. But I'm not.
I think.
But I just think it's important. People love that. I love collecting pieces. Those are the pieces I love to collect. And what I love most now is being in social media since 2006, I've been obsessed with Second Life and the fact that we're finally in this whole world where people are like, we are going into Second Life, which is the second generation of metaverse. I think it's the Web3, right? But the cool thing is, I remember the Linden Dollar back in Second Life, where companies like Nike went into the virtual world, and then you got something in the virtual world, and they shipped you the actual pair of Nikes in the real world because you want to, it's a contest there. I love to see stuff like that happening, especially for your project, because I feel like when people go to movies and different things, and when they really connect to something, I think I noticed a lot of token holders tokenizing a lot of projects. Those are the perks that they provided to the token holders. It's kind of cool because I love to go to a movie time with someone, and we all have the same T-shirts on. I know I'm where I live. That's normal. It's not normal where you're from, but where I live, we're like obsessed with matching when we go out together. It's kind of weird, but we love that, especially girls.
I'm absolutely into that without a question. It's so much fun. It makes you like, you're part of a team there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the and the family of like the project too. I really like that. Like that your friends and then also like whatever it is that you're rocking.
So what in Australia, what's like the overall consensus like on NFTs and metaverses? Are people accepting? Um, are there a lot of NFT Web3 projects popping off?
I think it's a bit mixed, like it is everywhere. You've got your people who are lagging behind, and you've got your people at the front of the curve, like the rest of the world. There's more than I thought that there would be, like even just in our immediate area. We've had a couple of NFT festivals popping off. Alex is actually involved in planning another one for the end of the year, which is really exciting. But yeah, it's I think similar with most places, just mixed.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think people are like, it's one of those things that we didn't really know or think that there was that many people in Australia doing it. But once we launched our first project, people just sort of come out of the woodwork, and it's kind of, I feel like, Web3 is kind of like that across the board. I think, there's not much talk of it on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So everyone on there is never talking about it. But then on Twitter, like, you suddenly find all these people that you've known for years that sort of, once you post something about, Web3, you're like, oh shit, this person's into it. They've got this project going on. And you kind of like find, people come out of the woodwork. And I think there's actually a lot more people building secretly than what we know. And there seems to be quite a lot happening in Australia around that. So it's pretty cool. I think Australians in general are kind of taking it on. I mean, tax is a big problem here. I think that's going to be like, if things around that sort of change as well, I think that there'll be a lot more onboarding. But that's kind of like a thing that I know in the States, it's a tricky one as well. So I think that's a big barrier to entry for so many people just into crypto in general, is just they don't want to get fucked with tax. So therefore it makes it a bit hard to sort of build without that fear.
What part of Australia? Melbourne, or did you guys say, or am I tripping?
We're in
from
Brisbane. Yeah.
Brisbane. I got confused because I have friends in Melbourne. So Brisbane. How far is that from Sydney?
It's about a 8-10 hour drive. So it's up like it's in the north on the east coast, just an hour from the Gold Coast, and it's like much warmer than Melbourne or Sydney. It's like the hot part of Australia. Great beaches. If you ever come over, come visit us.
Yeah, I would love to. Unfortunately, I have sickle cell anemia, so I can't fly like longer than 6 to 7 hours. or else I'll have like I'll get sick. I'll have they're called sickle cell crises, and extreme pain. It causes extreme pain and low oxygen levels. So I have to. I think the flight is, how long is it? 18 hours or something like that. So
Yeah, it's about 13 or 14 hours, I think, from LA. I think you always come through LA. But
yeah,
there might be ways to do it. You just have to get heaps of flights, or you could just get a boat, man. Jump on a boat and see in a few weeks.
yeah, that would be dope though, like a little cruise.
Yeah, I know Travis Barker, the drummer of Blink 182. Obviously, he had a horrible experience with a plane crash, but
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't
did,
fly.
didn't
Yeah, when his plane crashed and it really tragically killed DJ AM.
he? I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it's really sad. But after that, obviously, like he just has like a very understandable fear of flying. But when Blink 182 came out, he actually did get a boat out to Australia, a cruise ship. I think it took him like, I don't know, 3 weeks or something. But he did. I think it is a long flight. That's the thing with Australia is we're a long way away from everywhere physically. But the metaverse kind of fixes that, which is another great, exciting sort of part about everything. The world feels a lot smaller when you've got a metaverse, and I think that's kind of the great thing, especially like through the last few years with COVID. Like obviously you couldn't travel anyway. Our borders were closed for ages, but it didn't really seem to affect us at all in the NFT scene.
Didn't you have it rough in Australia?
We had it, kind of the same as everyone, but our government was pretty hard on it for a while. Like they just hard closed the borders for like over a year, so you couldn't really go anywhere. I mean, you could leave, but then it was really hard to come back. So people didn't leave.
I think you had to get like special permission to leave for about 2 years there, to like apply to the government to have a valid reason to leave, like go and care for somebody or something like that as well. So you were kind of trapped in the country. It's a bit rough.
Yeah, you had to have a really good reason.
Yeah, I'm in the Republic of Florida. We've been open. I think we shut down for a couple of weeks, and then people protested because they shut down the beach, and then that was it. And then they didn't shut down the beach. I think they shut down the beach on 4th of July in 2020, but after that, people were protesting, so they stopped.
I don't care where I go. I keep my mask on. I got like this little it's a mask, but it's like a sunglass visor, and it covers your whole face. It looks real futuristic. I wear that no matter where I go. I'm gonna be wearing that for a while, man. This COVID stuff is no joke.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys had a chance to mess around with the Oculus, like the VR experience?
Yes, absolutely. I've been doing work with some people who are developing in there. It's so much fun. I got given one about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you got one.
It's so much fun. Yeah, I got gifted it. Well, kind of, it's a work gift, but it's so much fun in there. Oh my goodness, I got this epic painting app. You do the like infinite zoom and paint all around you.
Yeah,
It's so much fun. What's your
awesome.
favorite thing to do in there?
Well, we just opened the Starseed HQ, and it's like our lounge and venue and hangout space. It's in Facebook Horizons. We just I hired a builder, and it took him about 3 months to finish it, but he just recently finished it. So I'm going to be hosting a lot of events from there, as far like networking events. If you guys got like a project coming out and you just want to have like a cool meetup or a mixer in the metaverse, yeah, we could do that at the Starseed HQ. I don't know if you are busy after this, but I can definitely show you around. I would love to host like some type of event for you guys at the HQ. But my favorite place, man, would be Facebook Horizons and Alt Space. We recently did a screening of Stalker with uh with our boy Mark O'Connor. We've been doing marketing for him and hooking up with him for his film Stalker, and we did a screening in the at big screen. So yeah, we're just tying all of that together, you know, for Starseed. We're basically bringing the virtual film festival over to VR as well. So
Yeah, dope. Absolutely. I'd love to hang around with you afterwards and run through that. I haven't heard of any of those before, so I'm pretty new to it. Our hype officer, who's not here today, is big on VR too. He's been in it since the beginning, so I'm sure he would be super keen to chat more with you about that.
absolutely, I got a little video. I'll shoot it over to you, but the video doesn't do it no justice. Um, as opposed to actually putting on the glasses and walking into that building, because it's massive, it's huge, and it's so futuristic and cool looking. I can't wait to really throw our first event. It's gonna be so dope, man. I'm so excited.
Fuck yeah.
I'm so glad you have one. Not many people have them yet, well, people on in the filmmaker scene. I know Mark O'Connor, he has one. Those guys have one. You have one, and yeah, that's about it.
It looks like She Crypto might have one too, but just by the avatar. If not personally, her avatar does.
We gotta get She Crypto one. That avatar looks so dope with the glasses. Yeah, so we have about 10 minutes left. What I like to do is open up the floor if anybody has any questions for Good Girls Gone Bad. Start a little bit of a dialogue. Let's see.
Well, thanks
Yeah,
heaps for
one
having us.
question.
It's been great, and we're really excited to share. Obviously, we're in a very early stage of our project publicly, so yeah, we'll be dropping a lot more stuff over the coming weeks.
No doubt, man. Like I like to tell all of our guests, if we bring you on virtual film festivals because we like your project, we believe in your project. So yeah, man, you got some supporters here.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, like, really excited to talk with you and Tonya more about VR and other stuff that you're into. Next time, just who knows where this is gonna go.
Absolutely, that's how it happened. I think we had somebody that I think She Crypto has some things to say, as well as Chaos.
What up?
What up, She Crypto?
How's everybody?
Hey, girl.
How you feeling? Good girls who want to be bad. Yo, what is it about? I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I just need to know. Titles.
Thank you so much. Our filmmaker, your director is gonna love that. It's about a bad bitch.
Hey.
Yeah. We're not giving too much away about this synopsis just yet.
Read the log line, Hen. Have you got
Yeah.
the log line there?
Oh, give me 2 seconds about that.
Oh, and this the PFP is Flinch. Everybody knows Flinch in the Film 3 space doing big things. So this is the PFP that I chose.
Hell yeah. Yeah, been following Flinch. Super excited
Oh yeah, for
about
sure.
that project. Yeah, it's so sick.
We got big love in here from Flinch. What's up?
All right, I got that log line. So our log line at this stage is: to redeem herself in the eyes of her estranged daughter, Kat, A viper in a snake pit triggers a gangland family feud that had laid dormant since she murdered her husband.
Damn.
Cat is our bad bitch. And yeah, we touch on some really bloody, deep themes in there about, we were talking before with Starseed and Tonya about, the nature of what good or bad is, and how massive perspective is in
For sure.
shaping everything,
Oh yeah, for sure. Perspective is everything, and I think a lot of times, we live in an egocentric society and people seem to think that, everything evolves around them and their perspective, whether or not you wear a mask, you don't wear a mask, whose situation is different. Maybe someone who has a mask on still is caring for someone who's sick, or maybe they're a doctor, but maybe somebody maybe doesn't agree with it because they don't know the circumstance. So yeah, dope. Well, I'll be looking forward, to hearing more about it.
That's it, She Crypto. You just nailed it. That's exactly it. Thank you.
For sure. I'm gonna let somebody else speak. Hi, Tonya, girlfriend.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I tagged you earlier. Maybe Flinch might have some swag later on for you.
I was like, I didn't have a chance to even respond yet. I'm like, oh my God.
I know. Listen, trust me. Everybody has real life situation. I know, like we're in film 3 and web 3, but I mean, it's still real life out here, so it's crazy. But congratulations, good girls, and you're talking to some good people here with Geno and Tonya.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Thanks heaps for all the support. We're super excited to share heaps more of this Good Girls Who Want to Be Bad film with everyone as it unfolds. There's it's gonna be fucking action packed and violent and a little bit emotional. You can expect some pretty cool special effects. Well, not necessarily, special effects, but we're putting some epic stunts in the film as well, which I'm looking really forward to producing, which will be fun.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The film's not done yet, or you guys are in production, or?
No, the film's not done. So basically what we're doing is we're releasing a generative series, which is, as you can see in the Good Girls PFP, it's a combination of our director, Nat, her photography, and our artist, Madbutt, her collage art. And there's 6 characters which depict the 6 characters of the film. So we're releasing a generative series which is going to fund the short film and also a grant program, which we touched on a little bit earlier, which is supporting other creative teams in the film 3 space, basically helping people get their first bit of money to start a film project.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, we think that's a really important thing, and it's always the hardest money you'll ever get is the first money. So if we can sort of help kickstart some projects, that'd be awesome. But with the film itself, we'll be sort of developing and producing the film in real time with our community in the Discord. So as although the concept is quite well fleshed out at the moment, we definitely want community involvement, and especially like giving the story depth and bringing them on so they can kind of get sort of hands-on or like within the creative process and really like see how a film is developed, because there's so much that goes on, obviously you guys know, in the development and production of a film.
Oh, for
so
sure.
Basically using the NFTs as a funding mechanism to fund the film, which will get produced in real time, and then the film will come out after, which will be a big celebration.
Yeah, I think Flinch is going to be doing Big Love. Well, I don't know if Big Love feels like talking, but I think that sounds kind of like on point with what they're doing, and that's amazing, way to do that. I'm hoping what I wanted to do for Beem, guys, and maybe when you guys get through with your project, because I think it would be good to do like a double header, because that's what I'm gonna do next time I screen my film with Beem, or maybe if not this time, the next time, because it kind of gives it like a movie night. That would be so dope for but it has to fit like all the project. If you're gonna do a double hitter, because you have to kind of fit like your genre or whatever. But good luck and keep us abreast. I really like it. I like what I'm hearing. So
thank you, and right back at you. Can't wait to see. Yeah, we're all on this film 3 journey together, and I think it's so exciting to, by all of us putting our heads together, I think we're going to come up with build a really fucking fantastic industry. So yeah, it's great to be here.
And it's dope how we're all kind of supporting each other too, like it's not a competition where we are in this together. I've just been so stoked on the Film 3 crowd and how collaborative everybody is.
Oh yeah.
amazing.
I think that's like the greatest thing about the NFT space, and why I think Film 3 will go so well in it, is because you see in the NFT space, it is so collaborative. And I think that sort of shared knowledge, and especially because we're all trying to figure out what the Film 3 model looks like no one knows. Everyone's trying different things. So I think, yeah, we've got an obligation to collaborate and find the model together, because once we've found it, it'll change the film industry forever.
Absolutely. I think Chaos had something to say. Did you have something to say, Chaos?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for bringing me up here to speak in this kind of very special space. I was watching you and all of you here, your profile. I'm so excited about what's coming in the future. And yes, wanted to say hi to you too. Starset Films. I was in the space with you long time before. I think it's maybe 1 month, 1 or 2 months. With Tonya too, she was there also co-hosting, and I'm so excited how far it's go. I was watching a movie from this good girls wanna be bad, and it's looked like very professional, very I don't know how to say it. I'm like a fan, and I wanted to say hi to Tonya too, and yes, and
Hi, Fernando.
how you doing? Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
wow, it's amazing. I know excited about what's going on around with NFTs and all this, and yes, happy to be here.
Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, so much has taken place over the last few months. You know, Starseed, grew. I mean, it ex- surpassed all my expectations. I can't believe it. We're doing big things over here, and it's just a blessing to have all you guys in here supporting us. Yeah, thanks for coming up, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you too.
No problem. Well, it's that
Thanks,
time,
legend.
guys. And what I like to you was gonna say something, Alex?
I was just saying, thanks, legend. It really, really means a lot. It's great to have you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Sick.
Appreciate that. No problem. What I like to do this time, every week, is present our guest with the golden movie ticket. You guys are now in the Starseed Hall of Fame. We're gonna get that to you guys as soon as this ends. But that's just to show our appreciation for you guys, for taking the time out of your day to come to our platform and enlighten us on what you guys got coming. So yeah, we appreciate that. And Tanya, anything you want to say?
Thank you so much, and I look forward to continue watching Project grow and catch up with you guys. And again, I just can't wait to see everything actually, because and by the way, the name is badass, and I appreciate you guys for being here. And please keep us posted. Thank you. And
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Awesome to have chats with you. And yeah, let's keep in touch and let's make films.
Absolutely, let's do it. And I'll show you around the Starseed HQ whenever you got time. Just let me know. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Well, I don't know if we're gonna be switching it up to 8 o'clock or if we're keeping it at 12, but just if there is an update, we'll post it in the timeline. But every Wednesday, guys. See y'all later. Have a good one.